What is the first name that strikes you when you hear the word Narcos? Well, have you ever wondered what if women also lifted arms and went to war, and even involved themselves in killing and extortion? Don't worry, all your questions will be answered, even if you're a novice and want to scrutinize more about narcos and what they do. In South America, female narcos are more prevalent, aggressive, and powerful. Many of those also ruled the drug world. As South America is close to the European continent, its people are mostly seen settled in the country and starting their reign. Don't miss out till the end to know more about the insights. Starting with Maria Guadalupe Lopez Esquivel, also called La Catrina. That name was inspired by a festival name. She was 21 years old when she entered the field. Born to a housewife mother and a father who was a rancher, grew up in the city of Tepel-Catepec. She was Mexican by descent. She's known for her beautiful body and her pictures on the gram with dangerous arms. They're known to lure their rivals with their innocent looks and kill them. She ran away from her home back in 2017 and met her boyfriend Miguel Fernandez, who was into narcotics. She also joined the field not because she was forced to, but instead because she was so behind in getting fame. And then soon she was showered with a lot of money. Whilst all the fame, she also holds a gang that wanders creating bloodshed wherever they go. One of the most horrendous incidents that took place in October of the same year was when her gang killed around 13 police officers and set their cars on fire when police raided their safe house. To our utter astonishment, after this incident, when the police started investigating, they heard a voice that ordered to kill all of them through footage, and guess to whom the voice belongs to? Right, it's her. Amidst all that, she was shot in the neck by Mexican cops on the 10th of January 2020, and 7 of her other subordinates were handcuffed and were waiting for their boss to be airlifted to the hospital. Although she was rushed to be saved, she was pronounced dead in the hospital after a short while. Her reason for death was blood loss. Next on the list is Sandra Avila Beltran, also known by her name Sinaloa Cartel. She was born on the 16th of October 1960. She's also of Mexican descent. She's called the Queen of the Pacific by the media. She was one of the most notorious drug dealers, who even got police under the cover by her innocent looks, yet cunning actions. She didn't pursue this. Her mother's family belonged to a group of notorious heroin smugglers, and her father, Alfonso Avila Quintero, also belonged to the cartel, which he ran along with his leader brother, Rafael. She grew up in chaos when guns were used if there's no agreement among people. This made her lead a very tough yet tearful life. Very surprisingly, she pursued journalism at a prestigious university, and as her friends claim her to be quite the reversed yet suspecting one from the very initial days. After she turned 21, she started dating Amado Carrillo Fuentes. Around the same time, she rose to fame in the Sinaloa cartel. She broke up with her boyfriend, yet she proved to be wiser with her marriage decisions. She married twice, and both of them were ex-policemen who later turned into traffickers. Her husband helped her dodge the law, and thereby she became a huge figure. Unfortunately, both of her husbands were stabbed to death by assassins, and then she was rumored to be in relation with El Chapo. Though not known, she was also seen together with Juan Diego Espinosa Ramirez, and then he was the door for her export and establishment in Colombia, as he was the leader and was also referred to as the Tiger. She became well known for her drug trafficking from Colombia to Mexico. Her work then saw a hindrance in 2001 when a boat carrying tuna was stopped and found with around 9 tons of white snow. This is where her nickname originated from. This incident had a great impact on her cartel kingdom, and she was on the run for 6 years while police were relentlessly searching for her. And while she was on the run, her son was kidnapped, and the kidnappers were demanding a ransom of about $5 million. She got her son back. But this led to many suspicions about her, and that's when the police decided to investigate her. And she was arrested in 2007. She claimed that she was a housewife selling clothes. She was adamant about getting herself out, and then she complained about insects in her cell. Also, she raised complaints about the food being brought to her and made everything according to her comfort food, alcohol, and cigarettes when denied from these. She used to raise human rights violations. After all this, she was released in 2015, and she now lives in the city of Guadalajara. She is 62 years old now. Next up is Jocelyn Alejandra Nino, who apparently changed her name to La Flaca. She's the youngest and most dangerous assassin of her time. Born in the 1990s in Mexico, her converted name literally translates to the skinny one. LOL. She was at her school age, that was around 18, when she became an assassin. While in the Mexican language, her name La Flaca translates to a female skeleton holy god. Well, the main reason to choose girls like her would be they are quite quick to recruit and start at a very low rank. They also take them to distinguish them from their rivals and also law enforcement. The main bait for all of these girls is they are lured for money and are used against their rival cartels. All of this aside, she gained fame when a picture of her leaked online holding an arm. Back in 2015, on the 5th of January 2015, a picture of Nino was taken. She was seen with shades on her head and a golden necklace with a television right behind her and was wearing a bulletproof vest. Upon research, it was found that she belonged to the Gulf Cartel, and she was a hitwoman. While it was also found that the picture was clicked by their opponent when they were at war, and that was happening with Los Metros. She reportedly belonged to the Los Ciclones. While her pictures were gaining attention online, the people from Los Metros found her and scrutinized her details. And then somewhere around 13 to 15 April 2015, she was caught and imprisoned, along with 2 of her colleagues, and was killed at that time. Nino had a ruthless death. Her body parts were found inside a plastic bag, and her dismembered body was found inside an ice cooler. Like all the rivals take advantage to threaten their opponents, Los Metros sent a warning to the former one, saying anybody who turns against them would have to face this for sure. This is turning more interesting, isn't it? Swiftly moving on, next up is Melissa Calderon Ojeda, aka La China. She was born on the 12th of August 1984 in Mexico. Born to Jose Alfredo Calderon Cota and Alma Guadalupe Ojeda Angulo, she began her career in Sinaloa cartel. She was the commander of one of the most furious teams of the cartel. Though she didn't seem so aggressive going by her looks, in reality, it's quite the opposite that surprised all of her male friends and colleagues. She was ruthless and killed all of them that came her way. Killings, kidnapping, and dismembering were so her thing. Looks can be deceiving, right? Well, she was determined to be leading the cartel ever since she got to know about how it works. She became the commander of the team Damaso Cartel in 2005, which is a subdivision of the very famous Sinaloa cartel. And then she was forcibly removed by the cartel leader, who reportedly killed her first boyfriend. She was enraged, and then she, along with her second boyfriend, Hector Pedro Camanera Gomez, formed a team called Las Fuerzas, which they used to raise a war against El Grande. And then on September 20th, 2015, she was arrested by the police when she was seen boarding a flight to Culiacan. And this information to the police was reported by her dear boyfriend, as he could not take her violence anymore and her gruesome antics. She and her squad are responsible for about 178 deaths. How ridiculous is that? She is currently imprisoned in jail. La Jefa, also known as Enedina Arellano Felix de Toledo, was born on the 12th of April 1961. La Jefa means the boss. She was literally the boss of the Mexican cartel. Born in Sinaloa, the place where the drug birth takes place, she was born into a family of traffickers. It's not surprising that her family was her role model. Her elder brother, Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, was another notorious drug dealer. She holds a bachelor's degree in accounting, and yet didn't use it for any good purpose. Instead, she invested her finance knowledge in the cartel and helped her 6 brothers in money laundering. Guadalajara cartel was destroyed, and her family members were either arrested or killed. She had a hated relationship with Armando Lopez, who was El Chapo's closest friend, and this hatred eventually led killing of Armando by her 2 brothers. In 2000, her dream was about to be fulfilled when the financial boss El Chuy was dead. She took over to prove to her brothers that she is the boss. When one of her brothers was arrested back in 2008, she became the head of the Tijuana cartel. La Jefa also has a sister named Alicia Arellano Felix, and she is also currently a member of the cartel. She's very distinct from all of those we discussed today, isn't she? She seems more rational and logical that way. She doesn't involve herself in assassinations nor orders. Them she picks wisely her fame game. She's never the priority of the DEA, unlike the ones on the top, who the police were always behind. She's always in the dark working and being a good mom to her sons. Also, the DEA said that she is one of the women who dealt with the field, which is purely reserved for men in a more nuanced way. She was also sanctioned under the FNKD back in June of 2000. After looking at all of these stories, it's very evident that women are never refraining themselves in any of the fields. While some of them are going way out of their league, while some prove to be great minds, although some of them died ruthlessly, some are still alive, and they are still the masterminds behind the booming business. Adding on to all of this, do you think if people are born into families of that reign, they will have to continue it? Let us know in the comments below. And did you observe something? The women who were actually born into families with drug dealing inheritance are not extreme. They didn't seem to involve themselves in killings or some ruthless acts, and they were also not so behind the fame. They were silent spectators in all of those acts. The field obviously demands them to be more heartless and emotionless, but if they have to establish themselves, it's equally important for them to maintain peace and harmony in their lives. Picking their partner is also a wise decision if they have to survive in the field, like what Sandra did. Unlike the other women who wanted to rule the world by suppressing killing innocents and thereby digging their own graves, who among all of these you found is horrendous? And whom did you find more thoughtful? And whose story did you find more interesting? Do let us know in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to drop us a like down below. Do support our channel by subscribing to it, and do check out our other videos. Peace out.